Good evening. I'm here once again with Dr. Sohail Nasti, the founder of Mother Helpage, and we are in Derby once again. And tonight we're going to talk about sustainability. So going from humanitarianism to sustainability. Dr. Sohail, good to see you again.
Thank you again.
So this is quite an interesting topic, actually, because there's some theory behind how you go from the various stages you've gone through in your life and just got this human rights sort of recognition from the British government, Life Achievement Award, and no one knows better than you that humanitarian causes and humanitarianism roots from usually crisis. And you were a pilot and you were a rescue pilot, so I believe that might be the process, but you go from a humanitarian charity. And now you've really shifted your focus at Mother Helpage to sustainability. So first, can I ask you about humanitarianism? Because you say everybody's humanitarian. Mm-hmm. Do you really think that's true? And what gives you this as a concept? This idea?
The definition of, when we say how we are human beings, so it simply is the answer. So we need to be human. We need to have the soft corner for others. We need to feel the pains of others. We need to be proactive in helping others.
And so have empathy.
And that's human. That's have empathy, definitely. So that's the simple definition of being a human. So everybody is a humanitarian that way. Everybody's responsibility is that.
Because everybody is human. But humans are also capable of huge atrocities.
That's it, because that's what I'm saying, where the knowledge comes into play. So either you play a positive knowledge or negative knowledge. So how you play with is up to then yourself to how you go to the route to create changes in the world. Mm-hmm. Either create devastation or create a positive change. That's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that people really trust programs that are humanitarian projects or charities, or do you think there's sort of a really negative attitude? I mean, Donald Trump right now is canceling lots of charitable programs and NGOs, and how do you face that challenge, and how do you stay positive?
See, as I said, you have to stand firm what your vision is. Definitely there will be problems coming into your way. Example, we were not allowed to work in Syria because of the previous issues, what there were. Now, at once overnight, Syria is a nice place to be in.
Is it a nice place to be in?
Because the government is now, what they call it.
Rebuilding the...
No, but before it was, okay, there is ISIS and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Same is with the case of Afghan, other places. So my point is, the geopolitical scenario keeps changing. Depends on who is the brain behind it. So it affects the people who are on ground, like humanitarian organizations, or the beneficiaries, unfortunate beneficiaries. They get the whip out of it because, now what you rightly said, that there are changes with America, Mr. Trump is, causing, initiating certain changes. So that will definitely affect a lot of charities and their programs. But if they are firm, like the way, as I said, I've been working in India, in Kashmir for the last 30 years. And we keep informing the local government, the local police about the issues we are facing, and we address those issues, and they're okay with it. Even every charity in Kashmir has to go through an investigation from the security agencies, what they do, who your beneficiaries are, and we don't blame them. It is their duty to know. So same way, I think, to focus on your vision and then to inform the governments about it. As I said, the advocacy should be there. All the charities who Mr. Trump has caused, we'll stop the funding or we'll stop the operations. I think they need to inform him and explain the problems these decisions would make, and how many people will be, affecting, and how many lives will be going the wrong way. So, as I said, there is always a problem which you face, but there is a solution as well for it. So, humanitarian organizations need to work as advocates. They need to have the advocacy to explain, because they are the only people who work with neutrality. They are not biased towards any political side or anything. So neutrality is they are neutral and their voices must be heard.
So in well, traditionally, humanitarian focuses on emergency aid. Was that where your first sort of impact was when you yourself were a rescue pilot? Is that something that really kind of struck a chord with you as far as developing and organizing your own, you know, your own charity for humanitarian fund?
No, as I mentioned, but I started as a small operation after I lost my mother. Then, going to these different places across the world for my research, for my as a doctor, gave me the insight of that there's more to it, where we can put our efforts and see what the necessary needs are there. Or you cannot have one size fits all. So many things are like in trauma hit areas, in where there's a long standing trauma, there are, in addition to the relief needs, there are more to mental health, where people are really, traumatized because they have a long term post trauma stress disorder as well. How we can address to that. So if somebody needs a mental counseling or mental support, and you are providing him a pack of food or flour, it doesn't matter, so we are wasting your resources. So that's why you need to pinpoint, you need to do a needs assessment, what is the right
very
way.
strategic.
It's not just for the just take the picture, so we have done this and we are global. And no, I think better is to pinpoint it and work as per the need.
So why the shift from sort of humanitarianism to sustainability?
Yes, good question. I'll give an example. We had a donor many years back, 2 years back, and he was giving us a good funds, and abruptly they said, "Oh, I can't support you." Given a 2 weeks, 3 weeks notice, they said, "We have issues, we can't support you." So I thought that, rather than to be dependent on donations, and you can imagine they were supporting almost a couple of hundred women or elderly ladies, and they had to stop the funding because they have some internal issues. So then I sat with my trustees and I explained to them, like, look, this is the problem which tomorrow this might happen to other one. And also to keep giving the handouts to people doesn't work because they expect you to, okay, at the end of the month end, they expect a check is going to come to the account, and so it is kind of that feeding them to make them rusty as well. So then we came up with the idea that it's better to make all our projects sustainable, so that we generate more employment with the same project. We give security to these beneficiaries as well, and they are not, they will have a dignified living as well, rather
Yeah.
than they live on the handouts. I'll give an example. We started last year a project like Qurbani is coming over, the Eid, we slaughtered the animals. So what we did, we got all the hides and got them tan and start making leather garments from there. So from Qurbani to fulfill their religious obligation, now we are empowering people, giving them employment to make the leather goods, and then we sell the leather goods to recycle the finances and help people again and again.
I can see the benefit of that, because then you sort of break the codependency
Definitely.
thing. And is that what motivated the
Yeah.
sustainability?
And this one more thing I would like to share that with you is our vocational training centers in different parts of the world, where these ladies, we train them, and they are making different, textiles and other things.
artifacts,
So what we
artisans.
do, we have started talking to different countries, so South Africa, America, Middle East. So we send the items, we purchase it from the artisans, and sell it and give the profit to those in return. So to make it a corporate, as I told you. So this is how a charity can be independent and sustainable, and where we can help people to live dignified life rather than they wait for our handouts.
And stuck in a poverty cycle as well, where they're codependent. And then, like you said, if you give them money, then after the money is gone, they're
That's it.
right back to trying to just
Yeah.
find money again, rather than having actual skills or vocational. The vocational centers sound amazing. That's great. And are those spread out throughout all of the areas that you
Yes,
have this?
most of we have started just few countries, but we started from India as well. So yeah, we are starting even for we are thinking we are talking. I was talking to the the ex-mayor of Derby last week. We had a meeting, and I was telling that we need to do something for our youth here as well, even in the schools or the people who are come out of the prisons. They have nothing to do. So if we can engage them by giving them
Or
vocational
even
training
in the prisons.
in the prisons as well. When they come out, they can do plumbing, painting, and all the stuff. So we can secure their lives. So that's a very good idea of helping them, supporting them mentally and financially. We can get the mental support, and by engaging them to these things and by financially as well.
And is this aspect sort of microfinancing as well, or is
Yes.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. We have
So
done a lot of microfinance projects in Africa, in India as well, where we give money to the people, and then they return us interest free when they make the profit, and then the money we reuse to give it to others as well.
and does that
And
go into your scholarship program or
no,
just
that's
into
a
the
different,
pot?
yeah. And then no, there is every project in the charity we have restricted funding. So if you have money for water, example, it has to be spent on water only. You cannot do that on food. So these are the protocol of humanitarian, code of conduct as well. So
Yeah,
you have to follow that
right.
strictly.
Yes, okay, that makes sense. And with the vocation programs, and also with people who have their own local trades and skills. So is it designed to teach new vocations, or is it both? And it also to help support what they already locally have as their skill set,
Yes.
sort of like
Look, best if
weaving
we,
or
yeah,
carpet making or
definitely. If we think about
pottery.
sustainability, we not only think about the individual sustainability of an individual or a family,
Indigenous
we
sort
do
of.
indigenous, we do the where the community gets benefited. So if they have the
So it keeps their
cultural, yes,
cultural
cultural, yes, I
uniquenesses.
think the cultural identity is very important as well. Suppose if they are making carpets and all the stuff, it's better to help them to make those so that the culture stays as well and will add
Exactly.
the,
So
and we
that's
are
part of sustainability for you is
sustainability.
also
Definitely.
cultural,
And
like a
one more
cultural
thing, yes. And
aspect.
one more thing, what we have added is to give them example if they are making carpets. So now these days we have AIs and you know so much of high tech. So we can
Lots
train
of
them.
pottery as
Yes.
well
So we
too.
can help them in getting new designs and by artificial intelligence and make them tech savvy as well to help them into get to the bigger market. So this is our plan for the future as well.
Oh
And
well,
we
it's
in India we recently have registered with the ministry as well, so that once the ladies or the guys pass out from our centers, we give them a certification, and that certification will help them to get the soft loans from the government as well to start the
that was my
startup.
very next question
Yeah,
actually was the collaboration and
yeah,
partnerships
yeah,
aspect of
yeah.
all of this. So you can't do this alone, as magical as you are with all of this. How important are partnerships, governments, NGOs, also, the private sector, all of those aspects? How important are those for
No, definitely.
Mother Helpage?
100%. If we think about holistic, like it's not just for financial security. Partnerships helps you in capacity building as well. So we have so many partners. We don't get funding from them, but they train our teachers. Teach our staff or our beneficiaries. So they give us, what do you call it, training.
What
So
are some examples of those? Are they UK based or are those some of your global?
globally, yeah.
What's a good example of
Example,
that?
example, we had a girl from France last year from the university. She was in web designing and SEO development and all the stuff. So she came here, she worked with us, trained our team, and then our staff member, they train the local, our on-ground operations, and the on-ground team talk these our centers, and and some people come on.
And this is a French student, and this is in the UK or in
She came to
Kashmir?
UK. No, one
UK.
one of the students came from. I think she was from Spain or something like that. She went to. I think she went to Jordan, as well. So there are university students who come. Some suppose they come as a teacher. Sometimes there are doctors who are interested to do cataract surgery in Africa. They attend our clinics and help their expertise. So and some people come for counseling. Some people train them vocational training. So this is how we request people to support us, to support our vision, not only by financial support, but the skills
Through sort of like
sharing
almost
as well,
networking
knowledge
and
sharing as well.
sharing of,
Yes.
yeah, that is amazing. So then in that respect, what criteria do you use in order to select these sustainability partners? Because obviously you've just mentioned quite a few. Some of them are students that are already a part of the Mother Helpage. But when you actually have to collaborate, what process do you use to select
Yes. So what our
sustainability?
team does, they identify a project on the needs basis. So it comes from different countries. Then we do the bid writing to the partner. So whether it's the government grants or the other charities. So we write to them, and if anybody is interested, then they ask for to provide more information, budget breakdown, and other financial requirements. So we do that, and then they fund us, and we then start the cycle of project completion with them. You know, so some give us financial support, and some suppose they say, oh, our somebody will send somebody for 3 months to train your team there, and some people give us equipment as well. So it depends on who is interested which way. So yeah.
What role does public awareness and youth engagement play in promoting stability through your organization?
Again, as I said, a person who studies should not focus just for what he's gonna get from his employment or job. He has the he needs to have the vision of how his knowledge can influence others. Basically, what we want to impart to the people is when we operate in any location, this is our now Mother Helpage domain. What we do is say there's a disaster in any place, we purchase all the equipment from the local area so that we support the economy. We get people, professionals from the area. Suppose if there's disaster, so that people are out of jobs, so we bring them to identify the best needs. So they write reports on us. So we do the short term and long term employment as well. So thing is, involve people who are knowledgeable, and then take things from there. Better is to identifying these people who are aware about their requirements in their localities. So that's how we get. And also, as I said, in this country we get these schools, college students who come on the assignments with Mother Helpage, and they launch their ideas. We have through this scholarship we want. That's why if you see the scholarship for progress and innovation, so what we do, we will support those people who will bring us some great ideas as well about sustainability. So if anybody does that, then we can maybe, what we have thought, if anybody's project gets successful in bringing some great ideas, then how we can compensate that person is, or that student, by sending him abroad as ambassador of Mother Helpage to deliver that project himself there.
Right. And how do you ensure that it remains community owned? Um, what do you do to make sure that that maintains its
Definite. So first of all, we register these centers with the government, local government, and then we involve the communities as well, the local communities.
so then they're under the regulation of local
Yes, yeah,
governments?
definitely.
Okay.
And then we have a body, so it's not a one-man show. Anybody can control. So government, local community, and the governing bodies from our Mother Helpage and the community. So, example, recently there was a incident in India in one village. So we supported the people, the local community, the mosque or the church, the members, they provided the beneficiary list, they identified them, and then we did deliver the project in presence of the local police. So as I said, it reduces that kind of the gray areas as well. So when you involve the local police, local government, and the local community, and then it becomes their, for our
Their
wash
problem.
project, yes. As for the water project, suppose when we install a water project, we get the certificate from the beneficiary that he's going to maintain it for next 2 years. Anything happens, mechanical defect, or they're responsible, or the local community. So this is how the ownership shifts from the donor to the beneficiary, and is their right as well to respect
Okay, yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's great. So in the global relevance of things, how does climate change either set you back with sustainability, or how does it advance or support your sustainability projects?
Again, global change is a huge, subject to see the relevance towards our vision as well. So certain countries like we have seen a huge shift of environmental changes or these dimensions where the countries are facing the drought which was never heard before, and some countries they are if you see the Bangladesh, there's always every week there's a flood, you know so such challenges do
Where would
affect.
that be? Where do you have every week a flood? In England.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So these challenges do happen, and that's why we need to respect the call of protect environment as well, because we think what we are doing is not harmful, but in the future, for the long term, it is. The
Yes.
fire is in fire. America, you see, every now and then there's a reason for it. So, or how we are making our water bodies bad by the plastic and all the stuff. So we have to think about how protect the future as well. So that's in turn indirectly that we are protecting ourselves and our future. We don't realize that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it kind of goes both ways,
Yeah.
really. Well, last thing I'd like to ask you about is Mother Helpage's approach to contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development Program. And what capacities
Yes,
your
there are,
program aligned
yes,
with
there are
this?
these, the SDGs. I think there are three or four which we follow is 5, 8, 11, 12, which goes for the empowerment of women, what you call it, supporting through production as well. As we said, we are helping these centers to produce these quality material, and we sell it on behalf of the beneficiaries to make them the parties to the profit. So yes, there are, as I said, that United Nations Sustainable Development Goals have definitely, if you follow them, so it gives you good guidance which projects. So as I said, at the moment we are following the four of them for the sustainability, SDG 5, 8, 11, and 12. So we do, suppose 11 is where we have the sustainability through our projects, say Kurbani, which you mentioned about the leather production, or the water wells through which we ask the people to develop their kitchen gardens, so that they can grow their own vegetable, at least to support their families, or if they have a big piece of land, they can sell it to make some money. So these, the SDGs are helping us to identify the new approaches.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, once again, it's been fascinating listening to you and hearing about Mother Helpage, and it's amazing to see that you're so aligned globally with infrastructures that are out there to kind of keep the transparency in place, keep sustainability, which you've moved into now, and it sounds really productive. So it does sound like a very fruitful and exciting future for Mother Helpage. So thank you very much, Dr. Sohail.
Thank you very much.
Very educational for me.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.